Hey everybody, welcome back to Hadley's High Carb Kitchen. My name is Hadley. Today we're going to talk about something that is kind of near and dear to my heart, and that is sleep. I just wanted to kind of talk about this because I have struggled in the past on a high carb, low fat diet to get enough sleep or with waking up early, and I just want to kind of share some tips that have helped me sleep better. Okay, so I have 5 tips, and my number 5 tip is to, and this is probably going to be pretty obvious to people, reduce or eliminate caffeine altogether. So as some of you might know, I used to be like a big time caffeine addict. I really love my coffee, my tea, anything. I started drinking caffeine when I was like, well, probably younger, through the form of like Coca-Cola and stuff, but like I started drinking like tea and stuff when I was like 11 because everyone in my family was always doing it, and I thought it was like cool to have a spot of tea, and I like to have tea with sugar and a little bit of milk at the time. And yeah, so I basically started drinking caffeine probably around the age of like 11, in the form of like like coffee and that kind of stuff. And then it kind of like spiraled from there as I became a teenager, and I was like seriously under eating, and I would just like be drinking coffee all the time, or energy drinks, or Mountain Dew. Used to have a Mountain Dew energy. Yeah, so lots and lots of caffeine. So it's been like a process for me to reduce and eliminate caffeine. Some of you might be able to relate to this, but as you know, it is also not conducive to your sleep. I do remember I thought I used to sleep okay, like when I was like late teens, early 20s. I could have coffee late at night and I'd still sleep, and I just think that was because I was like so exhausted from like under eating and everything, and I would just like pass out, like I would have trouble staying awake a lot of the time. But yeah, so reducing your caffeine is definitely, or eliminating caffeine, which would be an even better option, is going to help you get sleep. And like for me, what was happening is, it's not that I was having trouble falling asleep, because that's never been my issue. My issue was staying asleep. So I would wake up at like 3, 4 in the morning, or sometimes earlier. Sometimes my daughter likes to just like yell like papaya or something throughout the night. I don't know. She talks in her sleep, but like that'll wake me up, and then I'll be having cortisol or adrenaline response to that, and I just can't fall asleep. And it is definitely worse. It was worse on the times when I was even having just like one small like half cup of coffee a day. So eliminating your caffeine, or reducing, whatever is feasible for you, I would recommend eliminating. Is going to really help you get a better sleep. Okay, so caffeine, I think we all know that coffee is a stimulant, so it's going to keep you awake. That's kind of its purpose. So reducing or removing that is going to help you. Okay, so number 4, I would say, is reducing screen time before bed. I think we all kind of know that too. And just kind of like winding down, just, yeah, not looking at your phone, not looking at a laptop, not doing work. I don't know, I have a Kobo that I use, and I haven't really found that to be too bad, but I would prefer to have like a physical book. But I'm not a huge fan of like buying all kinds of books, because I just kind of like, I don't love clutter a lot of the time. We have enough of it, so buying a bunch of books for me is kind of like, I would prefer to just like rent them from, like, I guess I could go to the library. This is just me showing you that I'm lazy. So I will typically rent them from like the Kobo library or something like that. But I suppose I could go to a physical library and do it that way. But yeah, so reducing screen time, not looking at your phone, not doom scrolling, not doing work late at night, if you can avoid it, is definitely going to help you sleep better. Okay, so number 3 is, I would recommend moving your body daily. And again, this is probably a pretty obvious tip, but sometimes you need that reminder. And I'm not talking like doing crazy hard physical activity. I'm just talking about like taking a walk, like, you know, playing with your kids, running around with your dog, like whatever it may be, just getting some sort of movement in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely like sleep better when I do like more physical, like intense exercise, but that might just be a product of the fact that I sit at a desk all day. Like I work a very sedentary job, so for me to get like, you know, like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of intense exercise is definitely going to help me sleep better. Even though I do try to like stand at my desk or like take walking breaks or stretching breaks or anything like that, it is definitely, I do find it better for me to sleep if I am able to do that more intense exercise. I'm also staring at a screen all day, you know, working on a computer, so I don't know if that affects it, probably. But yeah, like whatever is feasible movement for you. Like if you work, I mean, if you work a very physically active job, that's going to be really great for you, really great for tiring out your body and getting you to go to sleep. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the times if I don't do that intense physical activity for myself, I find that my brain is really tired, but my body is not so tired. So I'm kind of like fidgeting and, you know, doing this and that while I'm trying to sleep, which isn't conducive to sleep. Yeah, so my number 3 tip is to, yeah, move your body. Yeah. So my number 2 tip would be to get enough calories in and also enough hydration. So this is something that I have personally struggled with in the past, is getting in enough food during the day in order for me to not wake up at like 3 in the morning hungry. And I do find that I need more than I think I do. So like a lot of the times I was eating like 2,000 to 2,500 calories like back in the day, and I would still be waking up at like, you know, 3, 4 in the morning, and I would be hungry, or my daughter would wake me up, and again I'd have that like adrenaline response, and I just wouldn't be able to get back to sleep, which is super annoying because I like to get up fairly early, like 5 a.m. if I can, 5, 6, you know, just to get some stuff done beforehand. So me being awake from like 2:30, 3:30 in the morning and then trying to get up is not a good time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend trying to find the amount of calories, and hydration is also important. You want to make sure that you're drinking enough water throughout the day, but definitely getting in those calories in order to sleep, because I do find on high carb, low fat, I need more than I think I do, especially like since I've been training so much for like running races that I have coming up. Just did my half marathon, woot woot. Did it in an hour and 47 minutes, so that was only 2 minutes off of my goal time. Just throwing this in there as a little, I guess, humble-ish brag. Just because, and some people are gonna be like, "That's not fast," but for me, it's fast. So, anyways, just an example of my exercise load there. But yeah, I need for calories anywhere between 3,000 to 3,500 typically is like where I sit around. But like obviously you need to find where you sit around and what's going to help you get good quality sleep through the night and not have you waking up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning starving, because nobody wants that. And like I said, you do typically need more than you think you do. So just kind of keep that in mind. And I'm not saying to like literally shove it in and eat until you like feel like you're gonna vomit. Don't do that. But like, you know, for me, I always used to have that thing in the back of my mind being like, oh, you don't need to eat, like you just ate, like you don't need to eat anymore. Why would you be hungry? So don't listen to that voice in your head. You want to listen to what your body is telling you. If you are feeling hungry or fatigued, well, 1, you might need rest, but 2, you could just be, you need some carbohydrates in your life, and you might need more of it. So you know, definitely listen to your body and try to go with your hunger cues, even if like you eat breakfast and then like it's 10 o'clock and you're like, oh, I'm hungry. You don't want to be like telling your body, well, no, I just ate, or no, it's not a certain lunch, it's not my lunch time, or it's not a certain time, because your body doesn't care. These are just human made constructs of like when we should and shouldn't eat. So, you know, you got to do what your body is telling you to do and eat, so that you don't end up, again, waking up in the morning, literally in the morning, like wondering why the heck am I awake right now, because you underate. Another thing you could do if you wake up at like say midnight or something, like, and you know, didn't get a chance to eat enough, or you just kind of like, you know, are getting used to this way of eating, is to, you know, just get up and have like a snack or something. I've done that before. I don't really love doing that because it kind of like makes my digestion a little off, but yeah, you could have like a piece of bread, or you could have like, depending on how long it was that you ate, you could have like a banana or something sugary, just to kind of like bring your cortisol down and help you sleep a little bit better. That's also an option of something that you could do. Yeah, so getting enough fuel and hydrating is super important. Again, do not smash it in to the point. I think Darian Ryder or something used to say that back in the day, like literally like eat until you throw up. Please do not do that. But that's not healthy, and you don't want to like force yourself to eat when you're not hungry. And if you do find that you're having trouble getting the calories in, just eat something like that's more calorie dense. Like, I know that high carb, low fat, because carbohydrates are 4 calories per gram, it's kind of a little bit more difficult to, like, if you're not used to the volume, to get the food in. So just eat things like, you know, dates, white rice is easier to get in, like a large amount of it, I find, because you don't have all that fiber. But dates, definitely, because they're calorie dense, have smoothies, you know, that kind of thing. Just as a way to kind of get the calories in if you are struggling. Add sugar. That's another great way to get the calories in if you are struggling to eat enough food, because you're not used to eating a large volume of food all at once. Yeah, so that is my number 2. So yeah, my number 1 tip is going to be stress management. Okay, so this is a big one, and I'm sure lots of people kind of struggle with this. I certainly do, you know, especially being a mom and all that stuff, like kids can be kind of frustrating. That's another thing. If you want to sleep, don't have kids. I'm just kidding. If you want kids, have kids. If you don't, you don't. Like, whatever. But they do kind of like mess with your sleep. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, stress management. You want to make sure that you are handling your stress, and you need to find a way which you can manage that. Like, what kind of way really helps you. For me, that looks like reading kind of like really de-stresses me. And yes, I read a bunch of fiction most of the time, because I don't know, it's more fun than reading like nonfiction. And for me, it's like I don't really watch TV or anything like this, so it's kind of like escape, or like a distraction, or whatever you want to call it. It's fun to get yourself into stories, and I happen to really like horror stories or murder mysteries. If I'm listening to podcasts, I'm typically listening to the No Sleep podcast, which is like a horror fiction podcast. So yes, I'm into that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know why that would de-stress me, but it does apparently. Anyways, so yeah, you want to find something that like kind of helps you de-stress. So for me, like I said, it's reading, or doing yoga. I've never really found like meditation super helpful for me. Like breathing exercises, yes. Listening to like guided meditations, I don't know, I just kind of think they're weird and whatever. But I really like doing yoga, or, you know, just kind of like getting off your phone and getting away from technology, and just like, you know, talking to another person, or like talking to your partner or a friend, or whatever, snuggle with your dog or your pet or your cat, or whatever it is that you need to do to kind of help you like decompress at the end of the day. is great. Like, you just kind of figure that out for yourselves. Like I said, these are the things that kind of help me, and they don't always help because sometimes it's like life is stressful, but carbohydrates and sugar definitely, you know, kind of take the edge off as well. But yeah, finding just doing something you enjoy. I mean, I wouldn't do this close to bedtime, but sometimes like playing video games or just coloring or doing something that you would have done like as a kid, is also kind of helpful. I can be like kind of like uptight and stressed, sometimes. So for me to like do something where it makes me feel like I'm a kid again, or whatnot, like playing video games or coloring or doing that kind of stuff, is kind of helpful. But yeah, you do you. You figure out what works for you, basically. Yeah, so those are my tips or my tricks or whatever you want to call them that kind of help me sleep. And I'm not, you know, obviously people have sleep disorders or whatnot, but you know, maybe you can try some of these and implement these into your life and see if they kind of like help you sleep if you're having issues sleeping. But yeah, I hope this video can help someone, and thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, whatever it is you want to do. Leave a comment, that would be great. I really love hearing from you guys. I think it's great to have this like open community where we can like talk to people all over the world. I think it's fantastic. So thanks again for watching, and take very good care, and bye everyone.